woman, or young women, it'll keep you from the immoral man, the player, with the smooth tongue. Verse 25, don't lust in your heart after her beauty or after his jewelry and his car, and let them captivate you with their eyes. It says, for the prostitute reduces you to a loaf of bread, and the adulteress preys upon your very life. Now look at verse 27. Can a man scoop fire into his lap without his clothes being burned? Can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? So is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. Now here in this context, he's talking specifically about adultery, sexual relations with a married person. But the principle applies to fornication as well. It says you're going to be burned. You're going to be burned. If you get sexually involved with someone that you are not married to, you're going to be burned. Now, I want you to understand, young people, that when you have little relationships as an unmarried, especially as a teenager or a college student or what have you, you shouldn't be playing marriage. I want to encourage you not to play marriage. Don't take it too seriously. Don't play marriage. In too many cases, you're taking these relationships too seriously. But you're going to find out. And, you know, I know sometimes you think, oh, no, not us. We have a very special love. Pastor, you just don't understand. Me and my girlfriend, we just vibe. We just have such a, we're right there. We're just. All right. I won't try to talk you into it now. Later on when you break up, you say, yeah, Pastor was right. Here's the point. You want to be prepared for a breakup because in most cases you don't marry your high school sweetheart, your early college sweetheart. In most cases, statistically, it just doesn't happen. There are some exceptions, but the general rule is no. And so while you think it's ever so wonderful and special right now, time has a way of changing things. And here's the point. One of the reasons God tells us to honor other people by the way we live is so that when breakup time comes, you haven't taken fire into your bosom and you're trying now not to get burned. When you give your body to someone who has not given their life to you, it makes it more difficult. You create a false oneness. You create a counterfeit oneness. You create a heart tie. See, the world makes it casual, but the Bible here just told you differently. It's not as casual as you'd like to believe, and you create a problem for yourself. It makes breaking up, for instance, harder to do. I've seen people who just about can't stand one another. Can't break up. And when you dig in, it's because they've been sexually active and they've created a false bond and they're trying to figure out how to get rid of this bond. And so you'd be surprised how easy it is to break up with somebody. All you gained was a little time. I mean, sure, you can cry and all that. When you get through crying, you say goodbye. And you haven't given up anything but time and you're free to go on. Number 9. It often leads to extramarital sex. Or, to make the point in the positive way, one of the reasons for sexual purity is it will help ensure sexual fidelity in marriage. It will help ensure sexual fidelity in marriage. Do you know that over 80% of people who get involved in affairs, extramarital sex, after they get married, over 80% of them were sexually active before marriage. Not by accident. Do you know what fornication is? Do you know what premarital sexual activity is? It's sin. As I said, as the first point. It's sin. It's rebellion against God. God said don't do it. You said I want to do it. I'm going to do it. It's rebellion. It's sin. What is extramarital sex? It's sin. And when you get good at practicing sin as a preteen, a teenager, or an unmarried young adult, what makes you think that some simple words you stand up and say at an altar are going to stand against a life and a lifestyle of disobedience? I'm already used to disobeying God. I've gotten that pattern down. So what makes you think that you're going to be sexually true? It's a false idea that, you know, sexual fidelity is a given. Well, see, you know, once I get married, I won't have a problem. Want to bet? Why don't you try asking a married person, will you have a problem? See, sexual temptation doesn't go away when you walk down the aisle. I've